Today is Friday, March 28th, at the time of this recording, and this is a walkthrough of everything I use to build my apps, right? All the tools, the AI tools, the APIs, all that, right? I'm probably missing a few, but here's the gist of it. I love Alex Sidebar. I use this thing the most. This is what they call themselves the cursor for Xcode, and it really is just that. Like, you can kind of, I don't recommend it, but you can vibe code an entire app with this, and I use it to speed up development. I have a lot of tabs open, so forgive the uh, how it's freezing right now. But it has agents. It has a bunch of different models like DeepSeek, uh, Claude, Sonnet 3.5, and I think 3.7. The autocomplete and the tab completion is like fire. Like, I find myself hitting tab all the time to just get things going. You can search your code base and give it context. And if you see my videos, I will go to Dribble and really screenshot a app design I like, or one that I made in Figma, or even the designers I worked with, like I hired off of Upwork, and I would paste it in here and tell the app to try its best to recreate it, and it will. It'll give it a good shot. Now, it is free. It's free to use, but I pay $20 a month to use it. It's just like a must-have for an iOS developer like me, who's always working with Swift. But this thing is fire. There's a Discord community. I think it's built by one guy. He's backed by YC, and I think a few other ones, A through Z, whatever that one is. I don't know. I'm not into the VC world or that deep. So, um, but I'm pretty sure it's one guy. Probably, who knows? Probably a team by now. But if you wanna build iOS apps like natively for iOS, then this is what you want to go for. I just realized, if you want to build apps, Flutterflow is another like low code tool that you can use. I gotta close these tabs so it doesn't freeze. But Flutterflow, I don't use it, but it was one thing I was thinking about using at one point, because I played with Flutter with it back in the day during an internship. Not really a fan of nested widgets and all that stuff, but Flutter is still a great tool. Is it flutter.dev? Flutter is great if you want to build cross-platform applications for iOS and Android. There's a bunch of tutorials. I use YouTube. I use courses I get. But the reason why I went with Swift is because I already know Swift and I didn't want to, learn it again. React Native with Expo. React Native with Expo is great. This is a framework that gives you a lot of out-of-the-box tools to, like routing and a bunch of other stuff to speed up development. I do have an app planned for that, which I will use React Native to ship on both Android and iOS. But this is another great tool. So it's React Native, but you're going to use Expo, and you're going to create your project with this command right here, right? So if you want to make, again, apps for both Android and iOS, this is what you want to go for. I don't, because I build faster with iOS, and I want to get good with iOS. I know I'm a Swift fanboy. But I do have apps planned for both platforms. Shipping to Android is just frustrating. Yeah, I can explain that another day. Claude, I'm not subscribed to Claude anymore. I do like it. You can see here I'm on the free plan, but a lot of the tools like Alex Sidebar already have they have it as an option as a model, so I can just like use it, and I didn't see a point in keeping my subscription. DeepSeek, Grok, all those are great. I tried them out. I paid for them. DeepSeek is free, and I juggle between a bunch of models. Right? Gemini is it's cool. It's cool. I know they just had an update. They just launched a new model. I haven't tried it, but there are so many models coming out. Like, they're coming out like JavaScript libraries and frameworks. New ones just keep coming out. But I used to use Claude before I found Alex Sidebar. I used to get my code from there, copy and paste it, that type of stuff, until I found Alex Sidebar. I make my logos, my app icons with Midjourney. Midjourney is just amazing. It's probably the best image generator in my opinion. It doesn't do well with text. As far as I know, at the time of this recording, I'm not subscribed to it. I would subscribe for like a month and get rid of it. Let's see. You see some of the things I made. So you see the Geoloca logo is here. Some of the images are using the app. This is for a game I was going to build called Runaway Bonnet. So I was trying to build the art for it. I did use Midjourney to build a whole game called Mo Muffins that's available on our App Store. It used to be on Android, so they took it down. Another story. But I made a lot of app icons with this. They're probably buried down there. I almost used this one for an app icon. Let's see if I can. So this is another one. I used this one for an app icon. This one was for the Mo Habits, which I ended up not using. And this one, if you've been following my videos, you probably know which app icon this was for. This one was for Mo Problems, and I almost went with this one. Right, this is for Mo Thoughts. I think I used this one, but yeah, Midjourney's great. Oh, I used this one for Tuki. But I love it. It's really awesome. And sometimes I go to Sora to add my images that I made here and make the move basically with the OpenAI's Sora. It's basically a video. You can create videos. Where operating credits? Say goodbye to credits. Very interesting. But you can create some cool content, and I plan on using these tools for the marketing as well for my apps. Cursor. I haven't gone deep into Cursor, but I do have it as an app. I have it downloaded right here. I gotta play around with it at some point. But if you know Cursor, you know people are making games with it. They're vibe coding. Think of this as like Alex Sidebar for the web. I do have some ideas that I want to build with this, but I don't think I've subscribed. I was on a trial. I played around with it, but I've been so into web apps, I haven't gone deep into it. But this is the tool that I will be using in the future. Windsurf or Codium. Windsurf built by Codium. Basically another cursor editor IDE. Another great tool. Played around with a little bit of it. Gonna give it a try. Tray is built by TikTok or Tencent. I think it's TikTok, but another option. This one's completely free. There is some concern because it's Chinese owned and people aren't sure what's going on with the data or privacy is what the concern is about this. But another great tool. I just realized I don't have Lovable on here. So Lovable is basically like a V0. I can actually talk about this later. Let's go into Vertex. So Vertex for Firebase is basically another way to use Gemini or incorporate AI into your apps. It's literally, go into your Firebase project and you can enable it here, Vertex AI, and it's an SDK. So you can enable the API and you add the Firebase package into your Swift package into your project, and you just kind of connect it to, and I think you just you add your .info or info.plist or the Google service.plist into your project, and you have AI. You don't need an API key or anything like that. It's literally just connected to your Firebase project, and I never spent more than $3 off the AI apps I made. But yeah, Vertex gives you access to the latest generative AI models from Google, and this was the first time I incorporated AI into my apps. In the future, I plan on using OpenAI or Claude APIs. I haven't ended my subscription for this in a long time, but I use OpenAI, ChatGPT, for their deep research feature, which I have this thing do market research for me, walk me through step by step on building an app. So for $20 a month, I have basically a product owner, researcher, developer, all this stuff. It's great. And just recently I've been using it to create YouTube thumbnails right here, because if you've been seeing a lot of Studio Ghibli like art, it's because of this, and it is very cool. Create some cool stuff with this. Who's that? Some guy. Looks familiar. kind of cute. But yeah, this is I've been using it to storyboard this idea for a video I want to make for Mo Foods, which was coming out in the summer. Let's see. Let's see. This was for the voice thing, but yeah, you can use this for pretty much everything. And because the AI generator is getting so good, like the image, it literally, I asked it to create a UI for me for a mechanic, like a mobile mechanic. And if I wanted to, I can like take this image, give it a Alex Sidebar, and it will make the UI for me. Like it's crazy. I'll make a whole like playthrough workflow of this, but you gotta have ChatGPT. Upwork for freelancers. I don't use Fiverr. I worked with a few designers who made me designs, and I use that to, outline some of the projects. I have videos coming out about the people I worked with. I worked with 2 developers, one iOS and one web. I start the projects, they finish it, or they start some of it and finish it. Like I had one developer who made I built the whole app of Mo Foods, and then I needed him to just start the other stuff so I can work on the other projects, and then he did it. And then I'll just in April next week I will start wrapping up what he started, and I'll be messaging him to make sure I have his code, or he can explain things to me. But I worked with designers, developers. I built some of the apps that you'll see here. These 2 landing pages, the Full House and Mo Jobs were made with V0, the front end, and then I found someone on Upwork, a guy I worked with for 2 years ago, to finish it up for me so I could focus on the other apps. So I did hire some help. No, it wasn't a lot. They spent a lot of money. So OpenAI, at some point I will get into using their API for sure. Maybe even Claude. V0 is great. Freaking love this thing. I was using this for prototyping, and it got to a point where I wasn't even using Figma, and I still plan on going into design, because it's not about making things pretty. It's about actually solving a problem. There's psychology that goes into it, a lot that goes into design. But for prototyping and just trying things out, this thing it's great. It's free, but you can subscribe to get unlimited messages, and I think my subscription is coming to an end. So here's some of the things I made, like a family fridge for the roommate app I got planned. I got a video coming out about this way later. I made a landing page for Mo Foods. I got a video about that coming out in the summer. But this thing literally made it. This website is live, by the way. You can go to mofoods.app and you'll see it. And I did not code this. I told V0 to make it for me. I made it live and then published it. Well, added my domain name. So yeah, very quick. It took me 10 minutes. So yeah, V0, great for making landing pages, front ends of your app, right? And then I have someone handle the Stripe for me and all that. The same developer I worked with. What is this? Oh no, Mapbox token. I made a video about this, but Mapbox is another tool I've been using. It's expensive, but it's nice. It's a nice map. This is what Snapchat uses. MapKit for Apple Maps. If you want to incorporate that into your iOS apps, this is great. If you want to learn iOS, I can't recommend this enough. AppCoda. I bought their professional thing, and I get updates for free now every year. But if you want to learn iOS development, this is by far the best place to do it. Swift challenge, hacking with Swift is great, but YouTube is also free and great. Great courses on Udemy. However, this thing, this is what got me set, really good, really all in, and just built the foundation for me. And I got the books right here. At some point I'm gonna study the chapters. But if anybody asks me, where should I learn iOS, go buy this. It's not a lot. Let's see. Yeah, it's not a lot. The books are available in PDF on Gumroad. If you want to learn iOS, go here. Google Maps API, the Places API for the Mo Foods is another API I use. I use a lot of different services. I'm basically using all different services and putting it into one app because it does not make sense, or it's not realistic or feasible to build. I gotta stop laughing to the mic. It makes it too loud. Like to make a payment service or a payment gateway or your own API. Like just use tools that are already out there. They won't cost too much. They give you credits, and you can play around with that. So this is one cool API. If you want to get all the places in search, Plaid or Plaid. If you want to, connect your app to, or your user, you want users to connect to a baking service. Plaid is great. Plan on using this for more money. I use Revenue Cat for in-app purchases on mobile. I think they have web now, but if you can do this for Android as well, it's a lot easier to use this than to use StoreKit. This is great, so check this out. Stripe for the web. All right, if you want to accept payments, Stripe is the way to go. There's also Lemon Squeezy and other ones, but Stripe is great. Supabase. I use backends as a service to basically, I don't want to build a backend from scratch. At some point, it will probably make more sense in the future, maybe, if I want to save more money. But I don't spend a lot for these little apps I'm building, like $5, less. So most of these are free. And, you get storage, authentication, a database. Like, if you want to build stuff quick, then please just go over here and, play around with it. AWS, you can use cloud services, Azure, GCP, Google Cloud Platform. That's what Firebase is built on top of. So you have options. Right, you got AWS. You have Azure. It's expensive. I wouldn't recommend using these. These are a lot easier. They're plug and play, basically. This is Postgres, so this is SQL, and this is more like NoSQL. They do have SQL now. I haven't really looked into it, but it's in here. Yeah, they got some stuff in here. Might be Data Connect. And they got, just look at the Firebase. It's great. I already know how to use it, which is why I chose it. Let's see. Boom, boom. There's AWS Amplify, which is basically another, I guess, a platform as a service. Kind of, you could think of it as Firebase. I didn't want to use it because I didn't want to spend time learning it. And it was going to take too long to finish the app, but some people choose this. I'm not sure if AWS can get pricey. I recommend Firebase or Supabase. I do use Lovable as well to work on, brainstorm ideas. So from landing pages to, games, because here's a landing page I was going to make. Simplify your digital life. Yeah, this is the landing page I was going to use or make. Might use it for more money. All right. Here's a calendar I plan on building. This is for Cali. I'm taking part in a event, like a hackathon of some sorts by Lovable and Supabase. Let me see if I can find it. It's like a build competition. There it is, happening at 3 a.m. tomorrow. So, let me see. See if I can get to the landing page. Boom, boom, boom. No, they just have a straight link to Luma. I want to show y'all the website. It's cool. I think that was it. There it is. I'll be taking part in this, but Lovable is great. There's a bunch of other ones. I'm already 20 minutes in. Might as well show you, right? But I'm a participant. Yep, it's basically a no code competition. So this is another game I was building. Guess Who that I postponed or canceled. It's basically 5 people join a chat room, and one of them is the AI. They have a minute to vote on who the AI is. There is Rourke. You want to use no code to build Mobile apps. This is also a great one for both Android and iOS. This is using React Native and Expo, I believe. Uh, what else? There's a few others. Oh my goodness, I'm forgetting a few of other ones, but there's a bunch. If you want to stay up to date on all this stuff, Twitter's the way to go. LinkedIn and everybody else, they get it sometimes a week later or the next day. So that's all I got for all the tools I use. I'm always looking for more and just brainstorming, but I see it like things seem to be moving farther and farther away from like code. Like it's really weird, but things are going farther and farther away from code. Oh, download the Expo Go app if you want to, try this out on your phone. Not my app, but your app when you build it with Work or with Expo Go. Yeah, I was going to show you this. What is this? You can clone a website in minutes. So again, here, see another example of people just using no-code tools. Same.dev is actually pretty cool. So I knew it was a reason I had this. It said YouTube. I knew I had a reason. Same.dev is awesome. But yeah, that's me. If you want to follow me on Twitter, Social Growth, using that. Stripe, Revenue Cat. I was going to share how much money I make on my apps. Make another video for that. Play. Oh my goodness. Play is amazing. This is basically like a design tool. You design your app in Play, and then you can bring it into your Xcode app. Oh my gosh. Play is amazing, and they have some new stuff happening. What the heck? Let me do this. Oh my gosh, hold on. Is it correct with play.com? Yeah. So they just launched a big new update, the most powerful tool to design and ship your apps. So you can basically design your apps and then ship them. And they made an app completely by designing it without writing code. And they integrated AI with it. This app is actually live on the App Store. So this is amazing. And the tool I plan on getting more acquainted with. So this is another great tool if you want to build your apps on iOS. Check this out. People are making cool stuff with Play. It's crazy where like this is the best time to be a builder, an indie hacker, whatever. The tools are out there. This thing's insane. I gotta stop laughing. This microphone. I gotta get a new microphone for YouTube. But this thing's amazing, and I think the last thing I'll share. There goes Alex Sidebar again. Play 2.0. I gotta watch that. Framer is another great tool if you want to publish your websites. I used this when it was like early on. It was just for prototyping, and it was amazing. But now you can create some really cool websites with this, and that's how I made MoStudios.io. Not the best website, but gets the job done. There goes Dribbble for design inspiration. Dribbble is great, and I get my domain names from GoDaddy. I'm just learning a bunch of stuff now, so like how does Mo build. Let's see. Oh, here it is. Same.io. You can basically copy UI designs. Let me see if I can find. Oh, I'm not signed in, but I copied the WhatsApp website. I don't know why. I really just like the WhatsApp website. Oh, it's logging me in. Don't want you seeing my messages. But here's a website. Plan on using some newsletters or adding a newsletter to this. I gotta update this site. All right, and right now this is how much money I was making like last year a month. So I gotta update this. Figma, of course. A design tool. Gotta go with the Figma. Sketch. I was using Sketch. I recommend Sketch as well. Seems like some people are migrating from Figma. I think after the Adobe deal didn't happen, people were like, okay, cool, I'll come back. But these are great design tools. Sketch is paid. You have to pay for Sketch, or they changed to a subscription model. I remember back in the day you could like buy it outright, one-time payment, and get updates. No, you got updates for a year. I really like that model. But I understand why they went with this, and I hope this company continues to do well because they're a great tool. Um, yep. So Figma, Sketch, great for design. Uh, the landing page I made with Lovable and Lovable and that's the marketing strategy I'll share later. I think that's it, y'all. I'll make a video about how much money I'm making next so far. Oh, Loom. For wondering how I record my videos, I'm using Loom. I'm subscribed to it because you get like 5-10 videos, and then you max out, then you have to subscribe to use more. Let's see. Is there anything on here? ChatGPT on the desktop, MongoDB. Framus is an app I plan on using for making App Store screenshots. I actually plan on hiring some help for that. Let's see, Discord, Blender, I'll get into that later, Arduino stuff, Zoom, TestFlight. If you want to test your apps, you need to get on TestFlight. Unity, when I was going to build games. Yeah, I'm just blurting out a bunch of stuff, but you know, that's what you need. If you want to build iOS apps natively with Swift, I can't talk right. You need a MacBook or a Mac computer, which is kind of costs a lot. So that's why I recommend Flutter, maybe even Flutterflow, or React Native or Expo. There's a bunch of them. I think there's, I don't even remember all of them now. But there's a lot of Codium. I think that's like .NET. There's Ionic. That's another one. I have this bookmark actually. Ionic is another option for web. It's not that popular, but still some good stuff in there. All right, if you want to stick to your HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. All right, but I won't go into all the technical stuff. I'm just talking about the APIs and services I use. But a quick Google will get you on, and a quick, deep dive into Twitter will also get you started. What else? YouTube, Twitter, Notion. I use Notion. I love Notion. And I use Google Calendar. Those are my tools, everybody. 30-minute video, but hopefully this was somewhat helpful, just kind of shouting out these names. I don't want to go into an hour of like how I use them, but I will make, videos in the future of how I use these tools, and, maybe a practice run of, making an app and how I kind of speed things up. And again, the apps are simple. I use AI sometimes. Well, not sometimes anymore, most of the time. I have these apps planned or they already started, so that's why I was able to like ship them out. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Video's pretty long. Probably gonna take a minute to upload this, but this is one of the last videos, or a few of them, because I plan on going all in April on building this app, and I need a break. So my social media will be pretty quiet in the month of April while I get things going. But you'll probably see me when I what's this? Okay, Deion Sanders is staying at Colorado. I was just checking that out, which is great. All right, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. Any questions, you can follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram, DM me. I've been responding to everybody. You can send me a message on LinkedIn for any questions. I do have a busy schedule, but I try my best to be flexible. But if you need any help, questions or anything, just let me know, and I'll do my best to get back to everybody. I almost had 1,000 subscribers, so and I gotta make these thumbnails better. But yeah, it's trying to take YouTube a little. Not, it's just a diary in a way, but might be a good idea. I gotta build the audience, so it's a good idea to start building these things out. The brand and all that. By the way, I have a logo. I'll show that later, but yeah. All right, y'all. Catch up.